Alright, we're going to take a look at basic division. The first problem we're going to look at is 94,302 divided by 2. Something I've seen that a lot of people seem to struggle with is remembering which number is supposed to go inside the division sign and which number is supposed to go outside the division sign. One of the little tricks that I give kids in my class is to imagine a division sign being slid over this problem. And when it's slid over this problem, when it stops, 94,302 will be on the inside, and the number 2 will be on the outside, because 2 is all left over all by itself, which is sad, but the 2 will live. We need to figure out how many times 2 will go into this big number. But let's break it down a little bit. How many times will 2 go into 9? If you had a bus that could fit 9 people, how many groups of 2 could you fit on there without breaking up any groups? Well, once you think about it, you'll realize that you can fit a total of 4 groups. 2 times 4 is 8, and you will have 1 extra seat left over, but that's okay because you don't want to break up the groups. The next step is to drag this 4 down. Now you have a bus that seats 14 people, and you want to know how many groups of 2 you can fit on that. Well, 14 divided by 2 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. You have no seats left over. That's okay. The next step is to drag down that 3. 2 goes into 3. If you have a car that seats 3 people, you want to fit groups of 2 in there, you can only fit 1 group at a time without breaking them up, which leaves you with 1 extra person. We're going to drag this 0 down. 2 goes into 10. I'm going to move this up so you can actually see it. 2 goes into 10 5 times. You can fit 5 groups on that bus. And then we're going to drag down that last number. 2 goes into 2 how many times? Well, 2 goes into 2 1 time. You're left with nothing left over. So your answer is 47,151. Let's take a look at another problem. Let's take a look at a problem with more than 1 number on the outside. Let's take a look at 30,720 divided by 12. We're going to take our division sign and slide it on over this problem. 30,720 will be on the outside. 12 will be on the inside. We need to figure out how many times 12 will go into 3. If we have a bus that fits 3 people, how many groups of 12 can we fit in there? None. So we're going to put a little X over there. You can also put a 0. That works as well. I put an X just because it lets me tell the difference between the numbers a little bit easier. Either way works. Now we're going to look at how many times 12 goes into 30. 12 goes into 30. Well, let's think about this. We can probably, if we have a bus that fits 30 people, we can probably fit 2 groups on there because 12 times 2 is 24. When we do our subtraction, we'll see that we're left with 6, and then we're going to drag down this 7 so that we have 67. Now, 12 goes into 67. Those are some big numbers, and I'm not quite sure on my 12 multiplication facts, so I'm going to have to do some rounding, and let's take a look and see if we can maybe get a number that'll be close enough. Let's round this. 12 would round to 10. 67 would round to 70. 10 goes into 70. How many times? Well, 10 goes into 70 7 times, so let's try 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 1 plus 1 is 84. 84 is way too big of a number. You can't subtract 67 minus 84 without getting a negative. We don't want to get a negative, so let's erase that. You're going to use your pencil. I'm going to use my marker, and they're both erasable. Let's try 6. 2 times 6 is 12. 72. Still too big of a number. Let's try going down again. Let's try 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 1 plus 1 is 6. Hey, look at that. We can do the subtraction and not get a negative number. 67 minus 60 is 7. Pull down the 2. 12 goes into 72. Well, we just figured that out. We remember that 12 times 6 is 72. Now, once we drag down this last number, we're left with 0. How many groups of 12 can fit into a bus that fits no one? The answer is 0, because 12 times 0 is 0. Now, when you do that properly, you'll notice that your answer is 2,560. If you don't put in this final 0, you'll get an answer of 256 that will be wrong. Remember to go all the way as far as the division problem goes. You have to have a number on top of all of these numbers. This is the only exception right here, because 12 doesn't go into 30. Let's take a look at another oh, nope, we're not going to take a look at another problem right now. We're done.